Known from Ogeli in Nigeria, Ogeli, Delta State, Nigeria. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I'm so glad to reach you from my residence. Petrol Premium Motor Spirit, we call petrol here. The price has gone up. In some places they are selling 700 naira, 500 naira, 600 naira, 450 naira. And so I resolved not to go to the farm every day because it will become too expensive. The profit margin on most agricultural products remains very slim. So we need to work with our phones, use technology to monitor what is going on there. I was amazed that two young men were said to have beaten up their father because he refused to settle them, because they caught him committing adultery with a side chick, and he refused to settle them, went to the mother's drink depot, and the boys drove him from there, and they subsequently met him at home and beat him up. And he called the police arrested them, and he was taken to the hospital, and the wife rushed down from America and then bailed the children or released the children from police custody and discharged the man against medical advice according to the stories, and the man subsequently died. That man has a big hotel not up to 1 kilometer from me here. And it is said that those two boys returned from the United States, where they were repatriated from because of their own misdemeanor there. And I started wondering, that man, if he happened to be the father of some other children, they might not degenerate to the level of beating their father. And what made the wife not to be concerned about the husband's welfare and just go ahead and release her children that she has value for, and she doesn't have much value for the husband? That man, very wealthy man, what most children aspire that their fathers become, and most women aspire that they will marry such husbands. I've related with people who I treasure and I value, but those who are close to them do not value or treasure them. Why is it that people like me who are in ministry, if I tell you the kind of responses, phone calls, and whatever I get from all over the world, it is amazing, and I'm highly encouraged. But I don't know any of my children. Yeah, I know one, he's already doing what I'm doing, who is really showing interest in taking over what I am doing as one gets older. I know great preachers whose children refuse to preach. I know great businessmen whose children refuse to follow their businesses. I wonder how Mahatma Gandhi's son could not rise to become a great national leader. One day, the last time he saw him, he was drunk in a railway station and he was heading in another direction. But the whole nation was following Mahatma Gandhi's leadership, but his son did not follow his leadership. And you have several stories and several testimonies like that. And so, and it's usually children of men and women who are quite religious and intellectually competent. I also wonder why wives sometimes despise their husbands that other people respect globally. Thank you. Tama Nene, tell us where you are watching from. Silver gold photography from Agbo. Thank you so much. When we get to a certain limit, a certain point, we will take a break so that you can share this video to your WhatsApp group so that others can join in. People keep telling me, I wish I knew you 10 years back, or I wish I knew you when I was in Ughelli. People knew me, they didn't share what I was doing with you. So don't repeat the same problem, the same mistake by not sharing what we are doing with others. Richard, thank you so much. Good afternoon. So try and tell us where you are reaching us from, and then when we get to a point, when we are doing question and answers, you will share whatever now to people. Oh, from Germany, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know if you have met my son. My son is also in Germany. From Italy, Lucky America Chima. Thank you. That's my son's name, Chima. So I want to look at value and how to value, or how to make value valuable to us. I said, I titled this message, What You Don't Appreciate, what you cease to appreciate will start to depreciate. Thank you, Esther M. from beautiful South Africa. Blessing Pereye from Japan. Thank you so much. So much. Thank you so much. Michael Forverman from Madrid, Spain. Thank you so much. Brendo, blessing, Brendo, Amotemen. So what is value? Value is the importance you attach to an idea, a person, a process, principle. Nigerians don't value the principles before processes. We are ready to short circuit, do things anyhow, particularly Africans, Nigeria in particular. We are ready to achieve tasks without following the due processes. Obi said, if you are to be called excellency, let the process of occupying the office. Please, I don't want to accept calls now. They disrupt my broadcast. Please bear with me. So, if you don't have value for an idea, it will depreciate. If you don't have value for a person, the person's esteem will depreciate in your life. Thank you so much. So, value is an opportunity cost. That is what you are ready to forego in order, thank you, Catherine, what you are ready to forego in order to continue associating with that person or that idea. Like as I said, I am a mentor, I am a model. There are many things I have left out of my life to be able to mentor you with this style of mentoring, of openness, simplicity, without complexity. I am just plain. I'm wearing a jersey. I'm wearing Manchester City jersey that somebody bought from Abuja for me. There's no complexity. Please bear with us with our network here. I hope to get a router and you'll be using my tablet to do the broadcast so that we don't get disturbed. Now, I told you I don't do adultery. I don't do adultery. I've been married for 38 years. I don't do adultery. Because not only for going to heaven or pleasing God, But I don't want to lose this relationship I've cultivated with you by bringing a scandal into my life. Somebody asked me, what is it that I fear most? What I fear most is to destroy the name I have built over the years. I try to avoid politics and hobnobbing with politicians, because if you suspect that it is through political patronage that I have reached where I am, you will not take me seriously. I avoid doing contracts, because if you know that it is through contracts that I've reached where I am, the little I have had financially, you might not take my lessons and my principles seriously, because you might not have opportunity to do contracts. So those are alternatives I have forgone in order to be able to cultivate this relationship with you and continue the process of raising 1 million African black entrepreneurs globally. So it is an alternative you forgo. There are things I don't do because I don't want to tarnish the reputation one has built. There are places and people I don't associate with because of those I mentor far away who have not even met me. So it's an opportunity cost. You can't have values and do things anyhow. It is not enough to create value or even associate with value. You must value, and value values. If not, they will depreciate. You must appreciate them. Value involves cost and worth. Jesus said, when you go to a town or village, look for a worthy man. Look for a man of value. Value involves price. Adam, thank you so much. My in-laws from Kenya. Value involves cost. That is why estate valuers cost buildings and cost estates. So, value is the alternative you forgo. There are gifts I've received within the last few weeks that run into millions. They cost those who gave them to me millions. Somebody gave me a very big car that runs into millions as a gift. Runs into millions. I don't want to mention his name. Somebody is shipping a gift to me from the United States of America. And he said that when I opened the gift, the box, that I should call one pastor that said that I was doing rituals to get rich. You see, they're already calling me, telling me I'm doing rituals because they can't explain, they can't understand how I get money. So he's sending me a gift, shipping a gift from the United States. And he said I should call that pastor so that they will come and see the gift and know that one can be blessed from anywhere in the world. Those gifts are alternatives those people forgo for me, for the association they have with me, and for the values I've created in their life. So value involves worth. It involves a price. Now, value is in the eyes of the beholder. Do not give precious stones to swines, if not they will trample upon them and attack you. That's in the Bible. I give you an example. Please forgive me, I'm a bushman. If you buy pizza for me, I won't value it. It looks like one meal we eat here called starch, made from cassava starch that you put tomatoes, you put eggs, you put whatever. I don't like pizza. For me, I have not been able to understand why people eat cheese. I'm a bushman, please bear with me. I don't understand why people are able to eat cheese. For me, it looks like white soap. I don't understand cheese. For me, jewelries are not my stuff. I saw one woman online, old woman, she put a lot of accessories on her body. And she said that she can wear a cheap dress and put accessories, not necessarily by the cost. But I appreciated her value, her desire to be distinct and be herself. She says that She appreciates jewelry and accessories. That is her person. And I value her for daring to be different, even in old age. So, it's in the eyes of the beholder. When people don't value you, don't get offended. Value is in the eyes of the beholder. Abraham, thank you so much. I just lost one of my dearest friends, Bishop Abraham Abrampa from Ghana, from Kumasi. I love Ghana. So, value is in the eyes of the beholder. We will come to that. Value is very relative and subjective. Value is relative and subjective. When Jesus saw the widow drop her mite, she said that she gave the greatest gift because she gave all relative to what she had. She gave 100%. And the rich people that dropped thousands dropped a small infinitesimal component of their wealth. So if I compare myself with people, I don't try to compete because I don't know the proportion of his wealth that he is displaying in terms of fashion, cars, ceremonies, and whatever. So I value also the whole I am coming from. Living a mud house, living extreme poverty to become who I am today. I value God, I respect him, and I love him. Oh, Tanzania, beautiful country. Julius Nyerere's country, beautiful country. So I treasure whatever God has done in my life. It might not meet Elon Musk level or Strive Musiwaya or whatever, whoever, but I appreciate where God has taken me from. So if you want to value God and value your life, think about where you are coming from and where you are now. If you trekked from home to your workplace, just appreciate the cost of cutting off your leg, the cost of an artificial limb. You will discover that God has been good to you for preserving your leg and for making you reach your office safely. And so you will worship God. Worship is from the word worthship, according to A.W. Tozer. So, value, you appreciate value from the eyes of the beholder. It is relative. Value stems from the level of your intellectual development. The average Nigerian pastor would have looked down on that widow. A mite would have preferred the offering of one rich man there, but Jesus' mind was developed, so he could appreciate the enormity, the relative percentage of the value that man gave. So, Chanda, thank you from Zambia. Kenneth Kaunda's country. I want to really come to Zambia and see the River Zambezi and that triangle of three countries coming together. I really want to come to Zambia. So, you need to appreciate where somebody is coming from. There was I think Britain has got talent, or America has got talent. One young man from South Africa whose leg was amputated because of cancer. So he had one leg and he had crutches. And he danced so well with one leg and crutches. And they gave him the buzzer. So we were looking at where he was coming from and what he had achieved. So don't always evaluate yourself based on the level you have reached. Always reflect on where you are coming from. And when you value people, always value the people based on where you started from with that person. I give my wife liberty to run our businesses because she was there in the beginning and she managed the meager resources we had then. And I think it is a reward system for her to manage the present resources. She might not use the Harvard Business School methodology, or the London School of Economics methodology, but she has produced results. And the best way to appreciate her is to let her manage the things she's managing. If I bring my inputs, she takes. If she doesn't take, fine and good. As long as she produces results, I appreciate her and I value her. I appreciate what God has done for me. In a small town like Ugili, in suburban Nigeria, when we came here, there was no telephone, there was no internet. I had to go to Warri, about 25 or so kilometers from here, to make phone calls. To be able to speak to you from the comfort of my balcony, I value it. I saw this since 1998 that I will do this. So I appreciate God for what He has done. One of the reasons you are not happy with life is that you keep comparing yourself with people. One of the reasons you don't value your husband, you keep comparing yourself, your husband, with other people's husbands, but you don't know the difficulties those people are passing through. You compare your wife with other people's wives, you don't know what they are passing through. You compare your ministry with other people's ministry, you don't know what they are passing through. So have value for yourself. It is the way you eat bitter cola that will make somebody beg you. Bitter cola is a fruit in Nigeria. It's quite, it grips the mouth, but when you eat it as if you're enjoying it, somebody will want to have some. So, value. Africans value kola nut. It is the value we have placed on it. So, value. Now, one of the things I found why wives and children and husbands, let me take it piecemeal, why husbands might not have value for wives. There is this lady that was singing, Osinachi also. The husband traumatized her. There were rumors that he beat her to death. That woman is a global celebrity. We admired her. Why would that beast beat such a treasure, a national treasure? Why would he lay his hands on such a national treasure? Proximity. He doesn't have value for himself. He doesn't have value for the woman. If Osinachi happened to be the wife of another person that he was not close to, he would be wishing that he was married to such a man. So proximity can reduce value to a very large extent. Do you know, many people in my streets here don't know me. They don't really know me. They don't know what I do. A young man some time ago was shocked that I was the Dr. Apoki. He sees me every day with my very unusual lifestyle, very simple lifestyle. Last Sunday I trekked to church and trekked back. Somebody was driving past and he was so surprised that I carried this, my big Bible, and I was trekking to church. It doesn't take anything from me. It doesn't reduce me. Even if it reduces me in the eyes of the person seeing me, my value is intrinsic. A diamond remains a diamond. Gold remains gold. So, value yourself. Value what you are doing. Don't wait until you are celebrated before you celebrate yourself. In those days, I would go to the mirror and look at myself and say, boy, you are too much for your generation. People were criticizing me. People were making mockery of me, but I know what and who I was going to transform into. So value yourself. So proximity. You will see children of great men of God, children of millionaires. One of the tragedies we have in Africa, I don't know if it's in other African countries, but it's very common in Nigeria and in the Niger Delta in particular. Sorry for the break in transmission. Your parents will use a business to train you, build houses, then you graduate from university and start carrying brown envelopes from office to office without thinking of developing that business, even if you're not going to run it personally, developing that business, computerizing that business, lifting up that business to such a level that it can turn to a big company, and then you can be the director. The Asians, the Jews, the Arabs, a lot of them don't play with their family businesses. For those of you from Uganda and Kenya, you see how these Indians start with a small shop and then grow it to be a shopping center, a supermarket. So we don't value little things our parents have done. We are the only people who throw away anything that relates to us. So value what your parents have done, build on it, and use it to build a big company. So don't get too close to people you value. Somebody asked me, why is it that I don't come close to him? I remember what one young man, Pastor Sylvester Odema said. He said that, sir, don't be angry, doctor, that I don't get close to you. It's that I stay far away from you so that I can appreciate you, so that I do not see your faults and start disparaging you. And he has been so nice to me. Sometime one day just brought a bag of rice when he heard I was doing something. Those close to me didn't value that. So, didn't value what I was doing. So he stays a distance from me. I was calling him, discussing, I called him when he called me. And the data in my phone or the credit in my phone finished. He said, data credit should not finish in your phone. And he sent me credit. There are other people I call and the thing finishes. It doesn't bother them. So value. I told the man, the bishop who said, why am I not being close to him? I said, I want to admire you like a piece of work of art, a painting. I want to stand from far and admire you. If I come too close to you, I will see the brush strokes, the strokes of the brush on the canvas, and they are not very pleasant to look at. It is only an investigator for authenticity that starts to use a magnifying lens to look at an artwork, whether it was by Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, is it Van Gogh, or one person. When you are not investigating authenticity, please approach people, admire them from a distance, and still value them. Still value them. Don't look for their faults. Don't concentrate on their faults. Concentrate on what is good about them. Copy those principles that are good about them. Implement them in your life. Then you will be blessed. They are not angels. And that's why children might not value their fathers. Wives might not value their husbands. Husbands might not value their wives. Wives might not value their husband. I was listening to Jack Ma. Jack Ma was talking, and I concentrated on the principles that Jack Ma was elucidating. He was an English teacher, but there were grammatical errors, just like as you will find grammatical errors in what I'm saying. But I concentrated on the principles Jack Ma was elucidating, and I stopped halfway. And I'm going to go back to the video and listen to it all over. I'm not interested in the looks of Jack Ma. I'm not interested in his phonation. I'm not interested in his nation, China, with their human rights issues. I'm more interested in the principles that Jack Ma is dishing out. I'm not interested in whether he's a capitalist or whatever. No. I'm more interested in the principles. I am not interested in American foreign policy. I'm interested in the principles that have worked in America. That's why I sent my children there from Europe to go and work in Massachusetts. And one has gone twice, another one has gone. And they have learned the principles in America. I'm not interested in the democratic tendencies of Paul Kagame. I am more interested in the development he has brought to Rwanda, the beauty he has created in Kigali. So I set Paul Kagame and his principles and his successes separate from whatever you don't like about him. I admire his height and the beauty of the height of his daughters and the beauty of the Rwandan people. They just admire that. You can have anything against them. That's why you will see people, they live in countries that are blessed and they keep complaining. Romania, for example, is a blessed country. My daughter-in-law is from there. My grandson is a Romanian. It's a blessed country. Their healthcare system is quite good and affordable. But you will see Romanians criticizing the healthcare delivery system in Romania, just as people in the UK criticize the national NHS. Come to Nigeria, you will know what to criticize. So I try as much as possible to take the ingredients. One man said, forget waiting they write for a bus, enter, make it carry you go where you they go. If you see a bus with land jet, another one says, honor your father and your mother. Another one says, then forget what is written on the bus. Enter the bus to where you are going to. Or is it mutato? That's what they call them in Nairobi. Is it mutato? Or in South Africa? Enter and go to where you are going to. Sometimes ignore the mouth order of the driver and concentrate on where you are going to. When I relate with people, I don't concentrate on their faults. I concentrate on their comparative advantages. What they have that others don't have, what they have that I don't have, I harness them and achieve what I want to achieve and create value for myself. Most critical people don't do much in life. They are like commentators, football commentators. They don't win medals. So always remember, don't get too close to religious leaders. You will see their faults. They are human. They are human. The next thing is learn to question your own value system. You must question your own value system. Check for entitlement mentality. Check for entitlement mentality in your life. Are you relating with this person with entitlement mentality? Let me talk to our women. So, a lot of you associate with us husbands with entitlement mentality. You don't even question our fears. You don't question the difficulties we pass through. You don't question the challenges we go through. You just place demands and place demands. Today in marriage, it's as if women see us as properties, as they assert ownership over us. And they associate the degree of stupidity we manifest to be love. No, you don't go and create problems for me and expect me to solve them. There was an incident recently. I refused to move. I was not in the know before the problem was created. And it's not that I don't love the people concerned. It's just that I cannot do that. So, value the efforts your husband. Imagine a man leaves home very early, walks through. Imagine those men working in the mines in South Africa. Imagine the men. Adeyemo, thank you so much. Eshegoni. Imagine the men. Freedom from Ghana, thank you. Imagine the men working in the mines. Imagine the trailer driver. Imagine the people carrying loads. Imagine the woman that has gone to, the man that has gone to do menial job and answered yes sir to people he's older than. When he comes home, he deserves some respect. He deserves some respect. So, value. He might not take you to orgasm every day, but value his little effort in trying to show that he loves you. Also treasure your wives. Their breasts might have sagged. Their breasts might have sagged. Their tummies might have become flabby. They are not as beautiful as before. Value them. Those tummies gave birth to your sons and your daughters. Those hands caressed you when they were smoother. They held you. Those buttocks satisfied you when they were firm. Those breasts. Imagine how many people have been sucking those breasts. You, your 4 children, and yourself, with a mouth like a vacuum extractor, and they have sagged. They are singing I surrender, and you are angry. Please value and treasure that woman. So if we start valuing ourselves and attaching, we treasure ourselves, we will live better lives, and there will be less strife. I've told people that I value this country, despite our shortcomings, the things I say them, whether the next generation can learn and be different from Thank you so much, Captech. Whether they will be different from my generation. Where my generation failed, I will criticize my generation for doing wrong. Where our young ones are trying to go astray, I will speak. But you see, it is easier to get rich in Nigeria than any other country. In this country, the opportunities that exist in this country, 200 million human beings. It is a great country. Have you noticed that most rich people from Nigeria don't stay permanently overseas? They always come home. They will stay in Dubai, stay in London, stay wherever. Come and contest elections here. Come for festivals here. No matter where you are as a Nigerian, we always want to come home. Are you from Ethiopia? If you see the beauty in Ethiopia, it will surprise you. Are you from Kenya? Are you from Uganda? Have you seen the beauty of Lugazi? Have you seen the beauty of Lugazi in Kenya? Have you seen the beauty of Kericho and the tea? Because we don't value what we have in Africa. That's why Indians are the ones who will come and harness our tea, harness our sugarcane in Mumias, and all that. So we must learn to start placing value on ourselves and placing value on our continent and our nations. Now, I will come to some other questions. Learn to question yourself. Am I having an entitlement mentality? Value your boss. You don't know what it takes for him to run that company. Is it out of greed? Value the little that has been given to you. Or is it out of ingratitude? Somebody made a post recently that I shared. He said the easiest way to become a bad man or a bad person is to do good for an ungrateful person. Now, for you, develop a highly compartmentalized mind, as I said earlier on. Don't compare Okocha with Sadmani. Don't compare Okocha with Victor Osimhen. Don't compare Okocha with Drogba. Don't compare Okocha with another footballer. Okocha is Okocha. These other footballers are different footballers. Then you can appreciate and value Okocha, value Sadmane, value Victor Osimhen, value this man in Liverpool, the Egyptian in Liverpool. So value people with their uniqueness and don't compare them with people. If you don't know how to appreciate value, you might end up like villagers who live at the foot of a mountain, and they live at the foot of a mountain and they don't appreciate the mountain. When you don't value a mountain and you live close to a mountain, you end up being a porter. You will carry loads for visitors. Do you know that coffee originated from Ethiopia? There is a province called Kafi. And somebody carried a stem of coffee, a French soldier, to Martinique in South America. Today, 1.2 million tons of coffee are imported into the United States from South America. The 75% of 1.2 million tons of coffee come from that coffee stem that was taken from. The man was sharing his water with the plant because he valued the plant. He might have not known that he was carrying 800 tons of coffee in that small stem. Value what you have. You will live at the foot of the Kilimanjaro. You will not value it. But outsiders will come to the Kilimanjaro and then you will start carrying load. Yes, Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. I flew over it and I saw the snow-capped top as I was going to Madagascar. It's there. Kilimanjaro is there. The villagers live by it. They are too used to it. They just got addicted, used to it. They might not even harness the beauty of the Kilimanjaro. They will end up carrying load for foreigners who have value for Kilimanjaro. There was something that happened in Jinja in Uganda. A German came and told he bought beads and several artworks, coral beads, cowries in ginger, and loaded a box full of them for each missionary. And he said that the Ugandans should not carry any luggage with them, any clothes. He went to Germany and started selling those things expensively. As he was selling, she sold them expensively and bought clothes for those Ugandans that went with her to Germany. She made so much money she could afford clothes for them. The Ugandans were happy, but they didn't know that what they had with them in ginger were very expensive and valuable. You might be like villagers living near a waterfall. You might get too used to it, and then you won't have value for it. And even if villagers had cameras, they won't take pictures of the beauty of their environment. That's how it is with people who don't have value for what they are close to, who don't have value for what is proximal to them. Don't feel bad when people don't value you. Feel sorry for them. Don't feel bad when people don't value you. Feel sorry for them. So, thank you so much for listening to me. Please share this video and make sure you subscribe to this channel and order our books from petrapublications.com. God bless you. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. Have value. God bless you.